Hello, welcome, good morning. It's time for Social Distancing Sunday School. So gather around everybody, gather the family, gather the kids. Today's Sunday School lesson is about a very special trip that Jesus sent his disciples on. Have any of you ever taken a trip before? Maybe a road trip, or maybe you've flown to visit family or friends out of state, or maybe you've traveled for a vacation before with your family. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that. And maybe you've taken a trip on foot. And so some of my friends in church that know me, you may know this, but for those of you who don't know me that well, I love backpacking and camping, and I'm an avid hiker. And so I travel by foot quite a bit. So what are some of the things, if I'm going to go camping, what are some of the things that I might take with me? Well, I'm going to plan ahead, and I'm going to think through all the things that I need. So I've got some of those things here with me. I've got my sleeping bag here, and I've got a tent right here. That's really important. Make sure I stay warm and dry. Let's see here. I've got a first aid kit. That's important. And I've got some fire starter here that I usually carry with me, and some rope. This is my little camp stove that I carry with me that I can cook my food in. And I typically carry some extra food, some granola bars or some of these ramen noodles, other things that I can cook easily when I'm on the trail, but I always make sure I have plenty of food to take with me. And let's see here, water. Always take water bottles with you. That's really important so you stay hydrated. And what else do we have here? This is my most important part of my gear. Hiking poles. I put these on, especially when I'm carrying a backpack, because it helps take some of that load off. And I really like hiking with my hiking poles. And all of that, my sleeping bag, my tent, all of my equipment, all of that goes into a backpack. And I wear this on with me whenever I'm out hiking. And I carry all that stuff around with me. Well, most of you probably will take a trip, a road trip or fly, and so you might plan ahead if you're taking a vacation. So let's think, what are some of the things that you might do if you were planning a vacation or a trip? Well, you would probably decide ahead of time where you're going to go, and you or maybe your parents might make a reservation at a hotel or maybe an Airbnb, so you would have some place to stay. And you might take some stuff with you, right? So this is my suitcase that I have here. So let's see, what kinds of things might I want to take with me if I was going on a trip? Let's see here. Well, I've got some things here. I've got like some extra clothes. I've got some t-shirts, I've got some shorts. So I'm all ready to go with my clothes. I'm going to take some extra socks with me to make sure I've got an extra clean pair of socks. And let's see, I might take some sandals with me, especially if I'm going someplace that has a pool or a beach. I want to make sure I've got some sandals or some flip-flops. And let's see, what else? Oh, I've got some toiletries here. So I might take my toothbrush and toothpaste. I got some bottles of shampoo in here, and I got some soap. So I might plan ahead. And I might just take with me all the things that I think I'm going to need, and I make sure that I've got a place to stay, make sure that I know I take some money with me, so if I need something to eat, I can buy some food while I'm out. So what are some of the things that you might decide to take with you if you were going on a trip? And how would you plan that trip? Maybe you would think about all of those things ahead of time. Well, Jesus, in our Bible story for today, Jesus sends his disciples out on a trip. And I want you to pay particular attention to the instructions that Jesus gives to his disciples when he sends them out. So today's lesson, I'm going to read from Matthew, starting in chapter 9, verse 36, and then we're going to continue on into chapter 10. So let's see here. Matthew chapter 9, verse 36. When he saw the crowds, He had compassion on them because they were harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, "The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Ask the Lord of the harvest, therefore, to send out workers into his harvest field." He called his 12 disciples to him and gave them authority to drive out evil spirits and to heal every disease and sickness. These 12 Jesus sent out with the following instructions. "Do not go among the Gentiles or enter any town of the Samaritans. Go rather to the lost sheep of Israel. As you go, preach this message: the kingdom of heaven is near. Also heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse those who have leprosy, drive out demons. Freely you have received, freely give. Do not take along with you any silver or gold or copper in your belts. Take no bag for the journey or extra tunic, nor sandals, nor a staff, for the worker is worth his keep. Whatever town or village you enter, search for some person there that is worthy, and stay at their house until you leave. As you enter the home, give it your blessing. If the home is deserving, let your peace rest on it. If it is not, let your peace return to you. If anyone will not welcome you or listen to your words, leave that home or town. Shake the dust off your feet when you leave that home or town." So Jesus sends his disciples out on a really special mission to tell the world, to tell people about Jesus and about his ministry. And his instructions are really interesting, right? So he says not to take any extra money with them. Don't take any clothes. Don't take any extra shoes. Don't even take a walking staff. Well, how are they supposed to survive if they don't have any clothes or money or shoes or any extra food? Well, what they did, they were instructed to do, was each town that they came to find someone in that town that would welcome them, and that person would feed them and make sure they had what they needed for that night or for that period of time that they were staying in that town. And then Jesus gives them one last piece here. He says that if anyone doesn't welcome you or listen to you, just leave and shake the dust off your sandals as you leave. So those are some really interesting instructions. And so they basically, one of the reasons that maybe Jesus told them to go out without any extra money or without any extra clothes or shoes is this really interesting line that we have here: freely you have received, freely give. So he didn't want them to look like they were rich or that they were making money off of this. They were only to survive off of the hospitality of the people that welcomed them. And so that's an important message. And he gave them these instructions to raise the dead and heal the sick and to cleanse the leprosy, cleanse people who have leprosy, and drive out demons. So those are the instructions that Jesus gave to his disciples. Well, we can translate that maybe a little more updated for our 21st century because we don't have too many people that are suffering from leprosy. So when Jesus says to his first century disciples to raise the dead, for us in the 21st century, whoops, my Bible just fell. Oopsie, oh well. So when Jesus says to raise the dead, maybe that means that you want to grow up to go into the medical field and to treat people that are dying and care for people who are dying as a doctor or a nurse. And when he says to cleanse the lepers, maybe you can remind your friends to wash their hands frequently. And maybe you can help people to remember I don't know, I lost my train of thought, sorry. Jesus also commanded his disciples to cast out demons. Maybe you could volunteer at a homeless shelter or help people that are in need, visit a nursing home, or contribute to a canned food drive. Those are all things that are going to drive out the quote-unquote demons of society, like homelessness and hunger and poverty. And he also tells his disciples to tell people that the kingdom of heaven is near. And so what that means for us today is that we are telling people about Jesus and about his love and his salvation. And he might have even told them to travel without any extra clothes or shoes or to carry any money. And so for us, that means not to accumulate too much wealth. We don't want to carry around all this extra money and all this extra wealth, but to really just take what you need for the journey of life and not any extras. And he also says to stay with the person that welcomes you. And so that doesn't necessarily mean that we don't talk to people that don't accept us or don't listen to us, but sometimes when you're talking to somebody and they're just not listening, or you're trying to tell somebody about something and they ain't hearing you, there's times when it's best to just shake the sand off your sandals, shake the dust off your sandals, and move on to somebody that is going to hear what you have to say and somebody that is going to hear the message of Jesus. So those are all things that we can do. Those commandments translate into 21st century actions that we can do. And so you can be a person who is healing and who is helpful and kind and loving, and you can spread the message of Jesus and the gospel through your everyday actions and through your words. So I hope that you do that and remember that special trip that Jesus sent his disciples out to spread the good news, and I hope that you'll do that. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great week. See you next time.